Time to revisit an old friend, and this is, of course, Rittz. So with this, we have a Strange Music signee, which is Tech Nine's label. And so they've been quiet since Strangulation 2 came out last fall. And really, Tech Nine's been brewing because he's been working on his album The Storm. But in the meantime, we get some albums from Kriz Calico. And Rittz. So among which these things are pretty fun. I did enjoy this album. Rittz is a white rapper who was affiliated with Yellow Wolf, and he's kind of from the South, and he does things in a similar style to Twista. He's a pretty rapid spitta type dude, and he's got bars. So he can rap. He raps similar to Tech-Nine, similar to Twista, and he's pretty good with his craft. So that's definitely a thing you don't have to worry about. If you're looking for actual rappers that are good at rapping and not just, I'm not saying that none of the other ones aren't, but put more emphasis on lyrics and also in a quicker style, this guy is probably your guy right here. So I prefer this. I do appreciate his style. And the thing is this album, well, it's packed to the gills. So if you get the deluxe edition, you're going to be getting over 22 songs. The standard edition, which is the one I have, is 18 songs and 3 skits. So I listened to that, and it's pretty beefed up. I definitely enjoyed it. So with this album, it is not in the same, this one is not in the same vein as the Tech-Nine album as much. And what I mean by that is it doesn't sound like a clone of it, at least in terms of production, because it's just a breezier album. Some of the topics on here are a lighter tone. Normally Tech-Nine is a dark rapper. He kind of the feel of his albums is shadier and more in the shadows than this one is. It just feels breezy. That's the only word I can think to this. I mean, I'm going to try to describe it more, but it just is poppier, more air. It's just a breezy album. And you're going to notice that in songs like MVP, My Window, and Knight in Shining Armor. These are just some of the ones. I think there's like a couple other ones. Maybe some of those are. Another one is Inside of the Groove. So yeah, there's just not as many dark sounding beats on here, but there are some. So we'll cover that. I liked 11 songs out of 18, and I'm going to list those now. So they are Ghost Story, Inside of the Groove, The Formula, MVP, Knight in Shining Armor, Propane, My Window, Diamonds and Gold, All Night, Looking Back Now, and Day of the Dead. Now, if you're looking for songs similar to Tech-Nine, go right for the song The Formula. Check out Ghost Story, Diamonds and Gold, All Night, and Day of the Dead. He can still rap with this, but I think he kind of wanted to get some new specialties that he can do. And obviously the whole time focusing on the lyrics of this, I will say that the subjects on here, you're going to be able to like them. I'm trying to think of the best way to put it. There's not really as many just club sounding songs. So you get the idea that he does go out and he's enjoying the life of being a rapper, but he also has more things that are on his mind than just, a nice car and smokage and a 40, those sorts of things. I mean, really, it just stands to reason that there's just more to him. But obviously, over the course of an album, it's up to you as to whether or not that gets stale. But the subject matter is on there, and so like I said, the breezier songs. Mike Posner has been affiliated with Rittz, and he is on this project. Tech Nine only shows up once. I feel like Propane with Devin the Dude, and I think MJG. These were both, these were some of the breezier ones, but it's just good to know. So it's kind of like a mishmash of styles. There's also some other songs on here, like he kind of reflects on this album, and you know, but I there were 7 songs that I didn't like, so just assess from the ones that I didn't list. Decide from there what you want to do with them. But I'm gonna give this album a 7 out of 10, and main thing about it is this is above the rest. I definitely feel like I noticed that in terms of my generation, the millennials were kind of losing some of our mainstay rappers. Folks that were here 6, 7 years ago are kind of falling into the background due to the outbreak of all the new rappers that are coming. And I'm not trying to block it, but it's getting harder to say, oh, this, Tech Nine, Rittz are ahead of the pack when they're the only ones that are still consistent these days. Rittz is only on his 3rd album. So the only thing I can say is if you're from my generation and you're gasping for air as far as you need some rap that you especially prefer without having to go to a younger mindset, this is one of the few things that there is still. And that's definitely, you got to pay attention to that. But, it's, you're just going to have to make the switch as to whether or not who you're going to support. But this keeps the pace, and it allows you to have something. It's a good interim. This should last. It's 18 songs, so it should last most of the summer. And then just in time for Tech Nine and future Tech Nine collabos. But the future, this just came out, so that you don't have to worry about the future. The social score, I'm gonna give this album a 6 social, because the singles were not really. I don't know how much promotion this album received, but it could have used a couple more guests. And maybe Tech Nine could have been on there a bit more, and a bit more promotion for the album. So it gets a 6. It did have 3 singles, but obviously Tech Nine stuff, you have to find it more. So the only thing left is, can it be topped? I think the answer is yes, it can, but this is not bad either.